What is up, guys? Ives here, and today I'm going to show you how to carry with every single role in Valorant to a high level, and this applies for all ranks. So I'll be your module leader for today. My social links are all below, and let's get started. So about me, guys. So why should you listen to me? Well, firstly, I went from silver to immortal within 2 weeks, guys. Just 2 weeks. Come on. I owned and coached a professional esports team that I made myself called Genki Esports, which qualified for the Tier 2 Valorant Challengers Polaris League, which is basically kind of like a semi-prestigious title. Now, I previously ranked Master in Overwatch, which is a utility and aim-based game, so pretty much both abilities and aim, and Valorant is in a similar aspects, right? And I've watched every single league and region in the Valorant pro scene, from Valorant Challengers League to VCT. And I've got a few connections with several pro players in the Valorant scene. I've also coached a client from Iron to Ascendant within a month, which shows it's possible, guys, with the right training. Now, what you will learn in this module: important tips to maximize your win rate on every single role with examples later on in the video. So number 1 would be correct playstyle for each role. Number 2 is how to maximize your utility. Number 3 is how to play and combo with your teammates. Number 4, the pros and cons for each role. Number 5, how to make impact on your role. Number 6, map awareness per role. So you need to be adapting depending on the map. Now, disclaimers, guys. Statistically, having a bad team and losing streak is a possibility. Like, you can never have guarantees. What you learn here will aim to reduce the chances of this happening, guys. Nothing's a guarantee in this world. Number 2, my mechanics are not at the level of a professional player, but I do prove that with good game sense and decent enough aim, you can achieve your desired rank. Here's an example where I got 6 wins and 0 losses, just solo queuing. So I'm not even blaming anybody here or teammates if I did lose, but that's 6 wins just from game sense alone and having decent aim in Immortal lobbies. Now, this question is debated a lot, guys. Solo queue or duo queue? Which one is better? Now, there's a debate that a lot of you can argue with, but personally, I reached Immortal with solo and duo queue. Like, I've literally reached both of it using solo and duo. However, I found that I win more games when I have a duo, which kind of matches my energy. So I'll give an example. You kind of need to play roles that complement each other, like a duelist with an initiator, like a flash. You're gonna like be able to combo, entry, take space, or controller and sentinel on defense. But there are like pros and cons to this. Like obviously on Valorant, you switch sides, so you might be weak on that side, but there are ways around it. So yeah, how to approach each rank and elo. So from iron to silver, you need to focus on improving your mechanics like aim, movement. It's really important at this stage for the most impacts. Teammates tend to go solo in these ranks, so they're not really going to listen to you. Gold and platinum, this is where you can start incorporating more thought into the games with your utility, guys. So you need to start using your utility a bit more with purpose. Diamond and ascendant, this is where you need to use utility correctly with your teammates to break out of elo hell and hit immortal, guys. Immortal plus, heavy communication with your team. You need to start making plans, strats, like mini strats, nothing too in-depth, on how you're going to play out the round and suggest ideas during the round. Now, these are just typically the roles in Valorant. Duelist, entry and make space for the team and aim to frag out. Initiator, support your duelist and take space with your duelist. Initiate a recon, provide information for your team and work with your team to take space. Sentinel, lock down the site for defense, prevent flankers on attack. Smokes, cut off enemy vision and stall choke points. Now, I hope you guys have been keeping track, because now I'm going to show you guys some examples and give you some explanation and reasoning from clips that I played throughout the game personally, like my decision making, my thoughts, and how to actually play the round out. All right, so we're going to start with this example, which is taken from my stream. It's a rough example. I wouldn't say it's the best example. However, as it's taken from my stream, I kind of want to show you guys that it's gameplay from me and pretty much how my thought process goes. So we're going to start off with this clip. So as you can see, I called out to the team that I'm going to entry this. I see Reyna entering. Of course, with a double duelist comp, I want to go and support Reyna. Reyna gets killed here, and of course, given the angle, it's really hard to refrag at this stage. So I need to be careful at this point. So I have to re-clear everything. So I'm re-clearing the first part, and then re-clear the second part. I go for a smoke here, and then I just start to dash in just to create that space for my team. I know the enemy on the left is still alive, however he's hiding. I don't want to be too exposed as well. I throw out 2 smokes just to throw off the enemy. And I'm just pre-aiming where the person could be. At this point, I take the duel, and I'm clearing each angle one by one, like methodically. After getting the killjoy, I start thinking, now I need to make more space for my team. It's a 2v3. I can't just sit here and just anchor and just pray someone peeks. So what I've got to do is I've got to take initiative, and I've got updraft and dash to rafters. From here, now I've created that space for Solver. I can just hold screens and a bit of rafters if someone swings. I get a pick on Yoru. I see the clove right there, so now I've got to keep in mind that she can swing at any time. At this point, I have a feeling she's in the smoke, so I do call it out.
Nice. Screen last.
Maybe in smoke.
Might be wrapping it. Might be wrapping it.
And there we go, guys. So that's pretty much how I play Duelist this round. And we pretty much won at a disadvantage, especially just understanding when to take space, when to take duels, trusting your teammates at times. Like there, I trusted my teammate to win against Raze, and I was kind of like watching the clove and smoke. But yeah, there's a lot of factors that play into it. Alright guys, moving on to clip 2 for Duelist. Here's another great example where taking initiative and pre-planning it around can make a huge difference. Just because you're a Duelist player doesn't mean you shouldn't be looking at like your teammates' ultimate orbs, pretty much looking at the enemy's ultimate orbs. And in this example, you'll see that I create a plan for the team.
I have a plan. Can we wait for Silver to drone B and then let Harbor take orb? And then maybe we can execute.
Now the reason why I've said that is because if we drone first, we get that space, Harbor then takes orb, Harbor gets the ultimate, and then it increases our chances of winning the round, especially on attack on B.
And then dart yellow after. I'll push the guy yellow.
On top of this, being a Duelist, I kind of want to entry, like, I need to pre-plan the entry. So me telling Silver to dart yellow creates less work for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you have your teammates there, utilize them. As a Duelist, the best Duelist players always use their initiators with them. Instead of just trying to like run out and 1v5, because why are you going to make it harder for yourself? You know what I mean?
One close and then dart yellow. Don't peek, don't peek.
Tell my team not to peek yet, because we need a drone to clear everything.
Okay, let's go now.
Don't want to risk anyone dying.
Take orb, Chris. Late tank orb.
I tell Harvard to get the
Yellow,
orb
please.
while I'm
I'm gonna
holding
dash
him.
on
I tell him to dart yellow. I dash on it. I wait for the scan. No one's clear.
Yellow
However, just imagining the round out, I already pre-planned that Raze could be at that section of yellow because he has to avoid the dart scan. So obviously I just pre-aimed that just in case, and I do get a Raze. And then this is just the remainder of the clip. So I'm just anchoring at this point. I updraft to dodge the Silver ultimate. Just holding Snowman, just literally anchoring for my team because I'm using knives. I have the mobility. I get that pick. Here I can go a bit aggressive.
Top side.
Here's just like a bit of, like, you know, just overheating a bit. But yeah, you get that round. I'm top fragging at this point of the game. As especially I'm pre-planning the rounds for my team to increase chances of winning. Alright guys, now just to summarize, these are high elo tips which some people may tell you and some may not tell you. But I'm here to kind of teach you guys. So, how to be a really good duelist. Step 1 is to always pre-plan your entry path. Number 2, ask your initiators to support you or any of your teammates, whether you need a smoke, a flash or a scan. Number 3, understand when to anchor or take more space. Now anchoring is when you've entered already, you're standing in one spot, holding an angle where people can peek from, which is anchoring. And I know sometimes you can get raged at or people flaming you, but just ignore them. As long as you understand the timing, then you can never go wrong. So you need to understand when to anchor and then when to proceed and move up to take more space. Number 4 is you guys need to play with confidence. Like sometimes when you have good confidence, it literally improves your aim by miles. You can't go into a gunfight moving half-hearted. You have to go with confidence and just kind of understand that you're there to win that gunfight. Like at least you tried, especially. Number 5 is trust your teammate at times. As a duelist, sometimes you just have to trust your teammates. I know it gets frustrating, you can get bad teammates, but that's where trust comes in play sometimes, especially in 2v2 situations or 2v3. So yeah, moving on. Alright guys, moving on to smokes, how to play smokes correctly. So in this example, we're going for a retake. So for retakes, it's really crucial that you stay alive. As a smoke player, it's really difficult to win retake if you're not alive for your team, because smokes allows your team to retake the point easier by cutting the space, pretty much covering the enemy's field of view. So in this example, we're on an eco round, they've executed on B, they've pretty much flushed out. And just pay attention to how I play this round out.
Oh, I got nailed, fuck.
So at this point, I'm quite low HP. One got a sheriff.
Crazy. Hit on a bad smoke.
Right here, I'm just trying to see what I can do, any damage I can do. My smoke comes up in 5 seconds. At this point, I've died, but I've used my Clove ultimate. Now, most people would have just run out like right after reviving. However, I'm paying attention to the countdown on my smoke ability. You can see that it's 2 seconds left. And once that's ready, instead of swinging out, I want to smoke first to help my team and then fight. Once I've smoked for the retake, I've served my purpose. So now I can do whatever I want after. So pretty much B main is the right choice here because that's where they're probably playing from most likely.
Oh my god.
Here,
I got 2.
just aim diff. I get a triple kill. That's just aim diff at that point, just mechanics.
I can.
Now can you see here, my smoke has literally cut off Gecko completely. So now he has to rely on using his ultimate, and he was unable to support his team in any single way while our team just flushes them out on B. Which is why it's really important you stay alive so you can smoke and then do whatever you want after. However, if I didn't smoke and just went out like blindlessly, our team would have lost this round 100%.
Try defuse for you. I'll defuse.
80. Oh no, just 40. Oh, we should have just
I'm the best. Oh my
A clutch is a clutch. At this point, you can see I've dropped 30 kills. I'm on smokes. I'm not blaming my teammates. I'm pretty much performing to a good standard, just using game sense and brain power. And yeah, I'm showing it's possible, guys, to rank up with just a lot of like good game sense and average aim. Well, above average aim slightly. All right, example number 2, guys. So as a smokes player, you shouldn't always play passive. So I'm trying to take space for my team on C. This is on Lotus. So on defense, I'm doing a one-way smoke so that our jet can anchor. And you'll see in this clip. Pretty much, this is such a power position as well. Because if you look closely, I can also use my flash if they start pushing Raze. Which is why I positioned here purposefully. Alright guys, now for this example, this is still on smokes. This example is pretty much more of a game sense and paying attention to the map thing and assisting your teammates. So here, I'm not necessarily attacking B with my team. I'm holding the flank and my smoke is coming up soon. So I tell my team to wait before I smoke.
Flanker. Wait, I smoked in 1 second.
This one.
So right after I've smoked, I'm paying attention to the map to see where my team's positioning is. Raze went in a bit too early, but Fade will be covered from heaven, pretty much. And it gives an advantage for my team. So Raze gets that first frag, but if you pay attention to the map to where I've smoked, look what happens after, guys. Sage literally has no clue. She got picked off instantly because she has to run out through my smoke. And that's just having impacts while I'm not even there. Now I can just lurk, do whatever, cut off rotation points, and pretty much when it's around. Now I'm going to fast forward to the end of this clip where pretty much we're in a 2 versus 2 situation. And I'll show you how to play a bit aggressive. So at this point, my smoke has come up again. I'm thinking, what's the best point to smoke? I could either smoke heaven, or I could smoke right over here. I decided to go with this smoke. However, they smoked us off, so it's a bit challenging here. We just have to kind of like spam the spike.
Not on.
At this point, my deadlock makes a huge mistake. Like, the person's shooting at us, the person's clearly not defusing. So it's a clutch situation here.
Ping spike, please.
Asking your team to ping spike is a really important tip so that you can just get your crosshair placement right. In this case, in my mind, I'm just thinking, if I let off a few shots, he's going to panic, he's going to get off the spike, and he's going to pre-aim where I am. So if you watch carefully, watch how I reposition. Can you see the way I step back? I tucked against the wall. And then I've got my crosshair planned, preparing for his swing.
Nice, bro.
Thank you. Well played.
And yeah, that is smokes summed up, guys. So moving on. Alright guys, moving on to smokes high elo tips. So number 1, paying attention to the map is really key. This helps you smoke at the right time and knowing exactly when your team is going to entry, smoking for them, or for retakes, when your team is about to retake, you smoke at the right time. Number 2 is use your smokes with a purpose. Don't just throw them blindlessly and your team doesn't even go in and stuff, because this relates to number 1, you're not paying attention to the map. Number 3, use your non-smokes utility at the right time. So whether that be Omen, Blind, Clove, Decay, there's so many examples I can list. Number 4 is pay attention to your position. For Omen, there's a range on how far he can smoke. So if you're in the middle of the map, you can smoke both sides. This is just an example I'm giving. And kind of like understanding if you're going to do a one-way for the team, if you're going to play aggressive in one round, and so forth. Number 5 is to understand that your smokes are crucial to win post plants and retakes. This is so crucial. Like, you can smoke on a post plant or a retake and then die without getting a kill, and literally you've increased your team's chances to win a round by like a huge percentage. So just always remember that as a smokes player. All right, guys, we're moving on to Recon / Initiator, so more scan agents. And these examples are going to be quite short. It's pretty self-explanatory. Your job as a Recon is pretty much to give info for your team. Now, what makes a good Recon player is understanding the timing and also working with your Duelist. In this example, on Breeze may be in a map pool or may not be by the time this video is out. However, I've saved my darts because I understood how I wanted to play this round out. I wanted to dart as they exit out A so that they have to turn around and break the dart. And in this clip, I get 2 easy kills, which you'll see from doing this. So while my teammates on the left fighting, they're now out. I've got the scan. They have to worry about breaking the scan or they have to get killed by my teammate, the chamber, back there. So they only have 2 options here, either fight or just get scanned. And in this case, they get scanned and it's the freest kills ever.
I killed 2.
There we go. And in this second example, they're playing quite a bit slow. So pretty much as a Recon player, you kind of want to get info for your team. If they're defaulting, they're playing really slow, you kind of just want to use your utility to find out where they are. In this case, I heard one tube. They were playing really slow. At this point, I think it's a default. So no one's really checking mid. Look at the space on mid. So I decided to use my drone to see who's on mid.
I'm droning mid, wait. Tube. Steps, tube. 1 mid.
So yeah, this is pretty much free kill at this point. So now guys, this is pretty much Recon Initiator high elo tips. So number 1 would be pay attention to the map. So pretty much see where your teammates are, when to use your utility, when they're entering, etc. Number 2 is understand when and why you should use your scan abilities. Pretty much an example I showed earlier on Breeze. I saved my scan ability when they enter so that they have to look behind them and throw off their crosshair placement. Number 3 is play with your Duelist to take space on defense or attack. Number 4 is be vocal with your team on where you are revealing so they can wait and peek after or with it. I mean, you get a lot of instances where you can throw your silver drone and your teammate dies instantly because they haven't waited for it. And number 5 is understand that your utility can be used as a distraction and sell a fake. So pretty much you could be faking B because you're using your initiator abilities. And on the enemy team, if they see like a fade scan or a silver dart, they're going to assume like 80% this site is going to get hit. So yeah, just understand these concepts, guys, and you'll climb easily. Okay guys, moving on to flashes. So this can apply to a lot of the flash characters. I'm using Sky in this case. However, pretty much with the same concept on executing the round, you can use it on Breach and Sky and any other flash agents. In this case, I'm using Sky because the flash gives a sound prompt if an enemy is there. So if you watch this clip carefully, I go for flash and showers and I'm just hearing out for a sound prompt if Sky says blinded. In this case, no one's blinded. However, it doesn't mean it's safe, guys. And why is that? Because one person could be playing anti-flash right outside showers. So after flashing, I have to always assume the worst. So I'm assuming there could be someone there, so I use my dog right after. Keep in mind I'm in a safe position where I can't get killed while dogging. I'm just scanning as much, creating all the space for my team, making sure bench is clear. When I know I'm happy, I can just now prioritize the orb on Sky. Having orb is really, really crucial on Sky. You can get your ultimate really fast. And now I'm just happy to just kind of like assist my team with this round. And also, if you guys looked closely, when I threw this flash out, I didn't necessarily like bend it because I know if I direct it at the wall, the bird is going to go around the wall automatically, which just gives me enough time to pull my gun out at the same time. Whereas if I just guided the bird and then flashed, it would take longer for my gun to pull out due to the animation. Also, I looked away just to be safe, just to not get flashed. So yeah. Alright, now guys, this second example on flashes is pretty much to show you guys why you should be using a sound prompt on Sky to kind of give info for your team. And this clip is a great example. So pretty much the round starts off. My aim is to flash the right side. There's no sound cue there, so I can tell my team the right side is clear. Well, the corner, not exactly the whole of right side, but you understand what I mean.
The right side clear?
So pretty much, look, if you check the right, it's clear behind the box. No one was there because I used my flash to clear that out.
I didn't see anything.
And then I used my dog right after to take all that space while my duelists are flooding in. And that is just a great example on how you should be playing Initiator. for the last example, pretty much I'm flashing for my Duelist. This is pretty much showing
One shower.
how to assist your Duelist.
I dog.
So Jet gets the kill because of the sound prompt. She was ready for the fight. And look at my dog just clearing all the angles on the right side. And look at Jet just taking all the space right after my dog has cleared that. And then
Nice.
Jet gets a triple kill. Pretty much. Now guys, this is Flash Initiator High Elo tips. This is going to be similar to the Recon one, but pretty much it's self-explanatory. Number one is pay attention to the map so that you don't team flash and you know when to flash. Number two is to use Sky's flashes for information. So as I showed an example, it's pretty much Sky saying blinded, or when she doesn't say, always got to assume they're playing anti-flash. Number three is time your utility to match your Duelist pathing on attack and defense so you can take a lot of space. Number four, be vocal with the team on when and where you're flashing to avoid team flashes. Of course, you can't always be perfect, but just limit the amount of times you team flash. Number five is understand that your utility can be used as a distraction and also sell a fake similar to Recon. And yeah, guys, this is how you play Flash to a good level, or high level at least. Last but not least, guys, an example for how to play Sentinel to a good level. Now, unfortunately, I've only got one clip for Sentinel. However, maybe tune in to my stream at some point, guys, and you can catch me playing more Sentinel. But I like to play Cypher on Sunset, and on defense, he's insanely strong, guys. So pretty much, I've got my tripwire set up in market and outside B main because the Razor's nading it. At this point, as a Sentinel, you want to live like as long as possible. The moment you die, you open such a huge gap for the enemy team to like flood in. Whether you're hiding in a corner or you're just not revealing your presence, that is how you play Sentinel. This applies on attack and defense, because if you're playing attack and you start having jewels and you lose, you've now lost a tripwire for flank or any alarm bot or turret or anything, and you've got a huge gap in literally like your flank. In this case, I'm just living. I'm playing off contact, which is playing off my tripwire. When it procs, then I'll swing, and I'll pretty much play like a martyr. I'll kill as many as I can, eliminate as many as I can before I get eliminated myself. And that is one of the correct ways to play Sentinel, guys. So in this clip, I'll just let it roll out. I hear steps outside, so I'm just waiting. In this case, they break my trip, so I just have to do my best to take out as many as possible.
Insane, one main.
So as you can see, they had to focus on breaking my tripwire, so their crosshair placement was thrown off, and I was able to capitalize on that and manage to get triple kills. Alright, lastly, guys, how to play Sentinel in high elo. So pretty much, number one is always live as long as possible in the round, unless you have to trade your teammates, so that your utility stays active, whether that's to watch flank or on defense to pretty much hold the entry points. Number two is to understand timings and lurk at the right times. This applies on both attack and defense. Like, you can understand timings and pretty much abuse the space where they've given up a lot of space. Number three is on defense. You need to have a purpose with the way you set up your abilities. Like, are you setting up to stall for a retake? Or are you playing as a martyr? So like trying to eliminate one or more players before you're eliminated, similar to the clip that I showed you guys. Number four is be responsible for holding flank on an attack. Stay in range of your turret or call out to your team when you're not in range and where they might be at threat of flank. Number five is to understand that your utility is really strong in post-plant situations, whether that be killjoy mollies that can literally win you a round, or alarm bots or tripwires to pretty much throw off their crosshair placement. That can win you guys a lot of rounds, guys. So just always remember that. Well, guys, we've reached the end of the video. If you like this content, I want to see more, drop me a follow on YouTube and pretty much follow my other socials shown on the screen here: Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter, or X, whatever it's called now. Pretty much support me, guys. It means a lot. Leave any comments or questions and I'll be sure to answer them. And follow my Twitch, stay tuned, and tune in if you want to learn a bit more.